girl, Aryial Symone, coming at you with another YouTube video. I've been getting a lot of questions on my Snapchat about how I got my hair so long, or some people just asking me for advice on how to switch from being, I guess, unnatural to natural. And one of my pet peeves is repeating myself. And so I just really get tired of basically answering the same question for 3 and 4 different people a day. And I figured it'd probably just be a lot easier to just make one advice video about how to switch from going unnatural to natural, or just how to grow your hair longer if you're already natural and you feel like what you're doing isn't really helping. So I went ahead and just made the top 5 advice things that I usually tell people when you switch to being natural and are trying to grow your hair longer the healthier way. So my first tip that I always recommend to people is to start doing protective hairstyles. Protective hairstyles are basically just simpler styles that don't really require too much work. They don't put a whole lot of stress on your hair, and typically they're styles that allow your scalp to still breathe, unlike sew-ins and things where you have like weave and wigs and things that just basically smother your scalp. Your hair actually, your actual scalp needs oxygen, I want to say. Like, it kind of like your scalp needs to be able to breathe in order to grow, if that makes any sense.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
So a brief summary of my hair journey. I won't go super into depth. If you want me to do like a story time, my hair journey, for those of you who are wondering how I switched from getting perms when I was really little to going completely natural and growing my hair out the way it is now, you know, just comment below and I can definitely make one for you all. Otherwise though, so I got perms when I was super young, probably like 1st, 2nd grade, something like that. I just know I was really young in elementary school, and my mom gave me a perm hoping that it would help maintain my curls, like loosen my curls up just a little bit, because she had 3 daughters and she was a single mother. And when you have 3 daughters with thick hair, you know, you kind of just, you're doing whatever you can to make the work a lot less, you know, a lot easier. Unfortunately, that perm did not work the way we were hoping. For me, I'm not saying perms don't work, but for me, like, it made my hair super thin, super stringy. It just burnt it all off. It was just it was terrible.
Oh my god! No! My fucking hair! The fuck is in this?
And instead of doing a big chop, we kept my hair the same length for God knows how many years. And we would always just every month keep trimming my hair until eventually you can see that my curls were growing back in. So ever since then, I had started doing braids. My mom gave me twists. Like, I think I had that 2 knots at a time. When you do things like that, make sure you don't get, like, I wouldn't recommend single-leaves twists and things like that. Yes, they are really cute, but typically that is a lot of stress on your hair and they do more harm to your hair than good. I would recommend bigger braids. I would definitely say box braids. I had a lot of box braids in my life. Cornrows, definitely. Like, I've had so many different braided hairstyles. Like, if you Google braided hairstyle, like, whatever picture you pull up, I guarantee you I had that style. Like, had like braided mohawks, I've had like ponytails, I've had buns, I've had all kinds of hairstyles. Like, and honestly, braids grow your hair out really quick. Like, they're honestly the best way to see how much growth, how much your hair has grown. As they get older, you see all the new growth. It looks disgusting when it's growing out, but it makes you be like, oh my god, my hair, it's growing. So definitely get braids, but make sure you're not getting them done too tight or too small. You can also do crochet styles if you don't always want braids. I know once I hit probably middle school, my mom started giving me crochet hairstyles, and that's basically where you're like, you have like the little tool and you're just looping like the weave through the braids. And you can get straight crochet hairstyles. There are some YouTube tutorial videos that show you how to do a straight crochet hairstyle if you don't want to do a sew-in. There are also curly hairstyles, and I typically went for more curly because I like curly hair, and I always just wanted something that would look natural, so whenever I did wear my actual hair, people wouldn't really be able to tell when I was wearing weave and when I wasn't. I would also say you can do buns too. I would just be careful not to do too many buns. I know, especially when I first went off to college, buns were like my go-to style, but you can tell your hair starts to thin on the sides, like, because I did a lot of top buns, so my hair started thinning out on the sides because of all the stress from pulling your hair up into a bun. Or even if you do low buns, then like all your edges and top sides of your hair start to thin out because you're constantly pulling your hair back and straining it into that bun. So I would definitely say if you do a bun, 2 to 3 days max, and then go ahead and switch up into a style, whether it's braids, bantu knots, twists, crochet style, whatever you do. Just try not to do too many buns. Next tip I recommend is using natural hair products. Vegan hair products are definitely most recommended. I know they can be on the more pricier side though, so if you can afford to do vegan hair products, I definitely recommend doing it. Like, if you don't know what vegan hair products are basically just organic hair products. There's no chemicals and things like that. They haven't been tested on animals, so I know that's why a lot of people choose vegan hair products. If you can't afford, like, you know, the more high-end products, you can still just, whatever products you use, make sure they have a lot of essential vitamins that you need for your hair, you know, like vitamins A, B, C, D, E. Make sure they have like argan oils, coconut oils. I would say make sure there's no mineral oils, no sulfates, no propanes, things like that. Just a lot of those harmful chemicals that some really cheap hair products have in them. I would just read the labels on whatever hair care products you're using to make sure it's as natural as possible. Like, you want to try to put as little chemicals in your hair as possible. Another way to help activate hair growth, I would definitely say like coconut oil or argan oil scalp massages, or whatever type of hair care product you would like to use when massaging your scalp. And I would say just like 5 to 10 minutes every day. If it's just like massaging your scalp or having someone else, if you have like your boyfriend or your best friend or your mom, just massaging your scalp, because it actually, like, now I'm not a doctor, but it's almost like when you massage, it helps like activate like the hair, like your hair follicles and things in your hair, and it makes your hair grow. I don't know, I don't fully understand it, I just know it works. Third bit of advice, I know it's like really corny and you hear it all the time, but it is true. You are what you eat, so you want to try to switch to a healthier diet. I would definitely recommend, you know, those fruits and vegetables. I'm not saying you can't eat meat, but you want to focus on those proteins. If you take vitamin supplements, I would definitely recommend like iron, zinc, things like that. Also, make sure you are drinking water. My goal is always to try to drink a gallon of water a day. No, I have not met that goal yet, but I do try to drink a lot of water in a day. Water not only helps your hair, but it helps your skin. Shoot, healthy eating overall helps your skin and your whole body. So just eat healthy, okay? Fourth thing I try to tell any and everybody is try to use as less heat as possible, if no heat at all, if you can. Like even blow drying, I try to use a diffuser. I actually need to buy a new one because I lost my last like diffuser piece that I had that attached to my hair dryer. For example, like I haven't put heat on my hair for 6 months, except for blow drying reasons, and even then I barely even blow dry my hair. I'm trying to keep heat off my hair for a year because heat, you know, it does damage your hair. I understand if you're doing like a wash and go or something like that, use a diffuser to put the heat. It like distributes the heat evenly so that you're not just burning one part of your hair with the hair dryer.
You ain't messing with no. Oh my God.
If you're doing braid outs or twist outs when you're under a hair dryer, I would say how I do it. I sit under a hair dryer for about an hour to 2 hours, and then that's it. Even if my hair's not completely dry, I'll just let it air dry. You just want to avoid heat as much as you can. Last bit of advice I'm going to leave you all with is only trim your hair when you absolutely need to. You do not have to cut your hair every month unless your hair, you know, is that damaged every month whenever you're doing it and your ends are just that bad. Honestly, for me, I only have to trim my hair like 3 times a year. Cutting your hair every month, especially if your ends aren't even damaged, all you're doing is cutting out all your new growth. Like, you only grow, I think it's like 1 inch to 1.5 inches of hair a month. And if you're constantly cutting that much out every month, your hair's not going to grow. You're not gonna see a difference in length. So only cut your hair if your ends are damaged or if you see that your hair does actually need to be cut. And that's all the advice I really had to give to you all this time. I know there are a lot more advanced methods on, you know, natural hair and ways to grow your hair out. I know there's like hot oil treatments and a hair mask and things like that. If you know any other basic ways on how to help somebody grow their hair out that I haven't already said in this video, feel free to comment those below. Don't forget to leave a big thumbs up on this video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn those bell notifications on so you can be notified whenever I post a video on my channel. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms. All my usernames and things will be in the description box below. And I will see you all in my next video. Your curly haired light skin is out.